You know ERP is the treatment that works for OCD. You've watched the videos, you've read the articles, you understand the concept, and you still haven't started. Maybe because every time you think about actually doing it, you freeze. Where do I even begin? What exactly do I do? How do I know if I'm doing it right? Those are the questions this video answers. By the end of this, you're going to have a concrete plan of how to use exposure therapy for your OCD. Not someday, today. Let's do it. First, why haven't you started yet? Before we get into the steps, I want to share something. There is a reason people understand ERP and still don't start. It's not laziness, it's not weakness. It's that OCD is really good at making avoidance feel reasonable. I'll start when I feel more ready. I need to understand it better first. Maybe I should find a therapist before I even try this. What if I do it wrong? I don't even want to start if I'm gonna possibly do it wrong. All of that sounds logical, but a lot of the time, it's just OCD doing what OCD does, keeping you away from the things that actually can help you. You don't need to actually feel ready. You just need a place to start, and that's what we're building right now. Here you go. Step 1, write down your fears and uncertainties. Grab a piece of paper, write down every fear, every obsession, every what if that OCD throws at you. Don't filter it, don't organize it, we're gonna get there. Write everything. And if you're like, I don't know what to write, just pay attention to what your brain is saying. Just write out everything in your brain. All those worries, anxiety, everything. What situations do you avoid? What thoughts send anxiety? What things do you do to check, repeat, seek reassurance, stay away from completely? Write them all down. This list is your raw material. And the reason we're putting it on paper is because we're gonna do something with it. Also, it makes it so all this overwhelming stuff in your head is now down here on paper. Step 2, rank them all from 0 to 10. So you go through your list. How distressing is each one of these items? 0 being, not really feeling much anxiety, totally fine. 10 being, this is the worst. A lot of anxiety, a lot of distress. You don't have to try to be tough. Sometimes you're gonna feel like all of the items are a 10 out of 10, but I bet if you were to put them head to head, one would be harder than the other. So you'll take some time doing this, and if you have a hard time figuring out like, how much anxiety or distress does this bring me? Try it right now. Have the thought, touch the item, whatever it is that's bothering you, see what happens. Right now, it's kind of more of a guessing game, because what we're gonna do is in step 3, we're gonna start with the smallest one. Find the item that causes the lowest distress, and we're gonna do something with it. Even if you said it's like a 0, it doesn't matter. We're gonna just do it just to say we can do it. If you can find something that makes you a little uncomfortable, that's great. This is your starting point. A lot of people want to skip to the hard stuff because they're like, I can handle it all. I can do it. I'm impatient. Let me just do it. Sometimes that actually works for people. Other times it just sends them through a huge loop and floods them, and they're like, I'm never doing exposures again. So once you've picked your item, step 4, we are going to create an action plan because we need to actually decide what you're going to do. Exposures come in a few forms. In vivo exposures, they're real world physical ones. You can touch something, you can go somewhere, you can be in the environment, put yourself in the situation where that trigger happens. Or there's an imaginal exposure that's in your head. You vividly imagine the feared scenario. Usually we use these when the real world versions are not really possible, like the fear of causing an accident or the fear that something bad might happen in the future. You can start with smaller moments, looking at a picture of the fear, watching a video, writing a script about the fear happening, reading words about it, writing words about it. But we want to make it specific. We're not saying, I'll sit with contamination anxiety, that's my exposure. That might be too vague. Maybe it's, I will touch a door handle and not wash my hands for 20 minutes. That's very specific. It's concrete, it's doable, it's repeatable. This is usually where people get stuck. Like, how do I know if I'm picking the right exposure? What matters is that you can bring that distress up with your feared topic, whether you're thinking about it, writing it, touching it, whatever it is. You're not breaking your morals or your values. You're not breaking the law. Those are the rules. But let's bring your distress up a little bit, because that urge to do a compulsion is what's going to happen, and we're going to get to that. But you're not just doing the action, you're using phrases. Before you do the exposure, I usually want people to come up with what responses are you going to use when the time comes. Because the idea is to sit with the uncertainty and not know the answer. So it's not gonna be, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna make it through this. This isn't real, this is just OCD. We're trying something like, maybe, maybe not. Those are the magic words. Maybe this is dangerous. Maybe it's not. I'm not gonna figure this out right now. So we go with the uncertainty phrases. Sure, maybe, I don't know. Or the agreement approach. Yep, totally. The worst thing's gonna happen. Love it. Awesome. Hope so. Cool. But which one's the right one to use? Whichever one you wanna use. Write it down before you start. Here are the phrases I'm gonna be using with the action. I know this can get so confusing at times to know, like, wait, what's the action? What are the statements? What am I supposed to do? That's why my Master Your OCD course has this all mapped out. I've got a whole worksheet specifically for this, so you can plan it. You know the words, you know the actions, exactly what you need to do for your OCD. You can check that out in the description. I've got a free preview. Now back to it. Step 6, write down those compulsions that you might want to do during the exposure. This is the response prevention part. I know I'm gonna probably wanna wash my hands after I do this, so I'm gonna be really aware of that. I might wanna ruminate about it. I'll probably want to problem solve, so I'm going to make sure that I've got responses ready to go if I do that. I might walk around my house like this because I know my hands feel contaminated. I know I can't have this thought when I'm like playing with my kid. That brings me anxious, so I'm going to make sure I play with my kid. We have all these things ready to go, so when your brain is saying, don't do these, like you've got to do the compulsion, you've got a plan ready to go. Step 7, do it. Stay with the anxiety until it drops. You don't just leave when you feel anxious. You don't just say, okay, touch the thing, I'm on my way. Be with it. And this is how long? One of two ways. Until the anxiety drops by half, or till you kind of just genuinely are bored and you're just like, okay, whatever, I think I'm done. There is no really right or wrong because the anxiety doesn't say that you're in danger, and it's not an indication of you getting better or not. What is your brain learning in that moment? If you did a cold plunge, for example, and you're sitting in that water and it's freezing as heck, you're gonna actually feel just a little bit better if you stay in long enough, but you gotta control your breathing. You gotta figure out, like, stop fighting it, just be in it. It gets better. But that initial shock is like everything is screaming to fix it, get out, this is horrible, don't do it, why are you doing it? That's what we're fighting against. It could take 10 minutes, it could take 2 minutes. But the mindset I want you to have is, what is my brain learning by this behavior I'm doing right now? Is it saying that I'm in danger? Or is it saying, I don't care and I'm willing to risk it? Step 8, repeat it a lot. Do one exposure at the start, but have ways to repeat this. Put it in your calendar. I'm doing this 15 times today. A lot. Because if you don't do it a lot, life kind of just stays the same. You'll feel anxious, feels horrible. Why did I do this? Oh, maybe I'll try it again next week. Like, that's not progress. Where I think a lot of people don't start exposures is because they're just not confident. But you don't have to be 100% confident to start. Am I doing the right thing? Am I waiting long enough? Am I saying the right phrases? Am I touching the right thing? Am I supposed to be thinking about this? Am I not supposed to be thinking about this? We just do it. Just do it. And you'll learn along the way, like, this is working for me, this is not working for me. I mean, that's ERP. That's how you start. The only thing left to do is to actually do it. Not tomorrow. Pick one thing on your list right now. You probably didn't do it during this video, so make sure you do it. Commit to doing something today. To get all your questions answered and the worksheet that walks you through this whole step, check it out in the OCD course I've got in the description. Thousands of people have already been using it and tell me every day, like, this thing changed my life. Like this video if it helped. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk soon.